Hey, happy Sunday. Hope you're having a good weekend, Knicks Nation. I hope you're safe and healthy and your family's safe and healthy and everybody is enjoying what's left of your weekend. Greetings to you all. Greetings to the chat, Ms. Stevenson, Deshaun Wilson. Greetings, my brother, Julu, Caesar. Greetings, Tony Tippin, Eddie Kerr, Stoop Kids Studio. Greetings to all of you as we're continuing. Greetings, V Spec. What's up, my man Lonnie, Lion of Judah? How you doing? Shalom, my brother. And Eddie Kerr, Boston Nick, Webb, Senior Beef. What's up? Greetings to all of y'all. We are continuing now at this point of the summer. So we're at the end, pretty much at the end of July. Nothing has happened in terms of any major deals. And at this point, I don't expect anything to happen. I think the Knicks are going to go to war with what we have. They will obviously go to war with what we have minus, eventually, minus Evan Fournier. So, but I like the Knicks' approach. According to Eden Begley about Evan Fournier, I like the approach that they're taking. Don't care about Fournier's whining. That's his business. The Knicks are going to take care of the Knicks as they need to. And so, I don't have any problem with how they're handling Evan Fournier at this point. So they are, looks like that 19 million that Evan Fournier is on their roster. That 19 million. What's good, yo? Superstar, how you doing? Once a Nick, always a Nick. Guilford, McCormick, Blair, V, Akil Hicks, number 9. How y'all doing? So, yeah, I ain't got no cheese for his wine, man. I ain't got no cheese for Fournier's wine. But in terms of the player, the salary, and how he fits, he's not going to play. But it's good that they got this 19 million because, right now the Knicks are at about 160 million, right? They're at about 160 million in salary. The luxury tax is about 165 million. So they have something, in the neighborhood of $5 million, 4.7 million, I'm looking at it here, of room, so that they're under the luxury tax. Now, next season, the luxury tax number goes up by 10%. So it would go up to 176 million, right? So with the Knicks, when you're looking at it right now, the only really two salaries they got to deal with is IQ for next year and Josh Hart. They have those two salaries that they got to deal with. So right now they're at 160 million. They got about $5 million. They don't need to add anything else. And then they got Fournier's 19 million, right? So Fournier's 19 million. Let's say they held Fournier, and I don't care if they do it or not. They can send him home and hold him. I don't care. But that 19 million, really, you take that off of the 160, and you're down to about $141 million, right? So you're down to about $141 million, unofficially, when you're talking about Fournier's 19 million. So you're talking about 141 million, where right now the luxury tax cap is 165. What's up, Stephen Kelly? Sincere, how you doing? James E. Moore, Vespasian, if I missed any of you, welcome. Coach Hauser, how you doing, man? And so you're talking about 141 million right now, unofficially, not include that's you take away Fournier's 19 million, and you have about 141 million. And then next year, the cap is 176 for the luxury. Talking about luxury tax. At this point, we don't care about salary cap, but luxury tax cap is 176. So between 141 million and 176 million, you have $35 million. Now, why is that significant? Well, they don't have to deal with RJ. They don't have to deal with Randall. They have to deal with Mitchell Robinson. They don't have to deal with Brunson. They don't have to deal with none of those guys. They have Hartenstein. He'll be, eligible for a re-sign up at that point. They have IQ, and then they have Josh Hart. So now, Josh Hart, let's start with him. This year's salary is about $13 million. That's already baked into what we already talked about. So the unofficial $141 million includes $13 million for Josh Hart. Josh Hart, in my view, he's not going to make any more than $18 million a year. Like that's not no chump change. But so what I'm saying is though, if he, let's say he signed for $18 million a year, so that's a $5 million increase. Y'all see me? So that's a $5 million increase from this year's salary. So really, out of the $35 million next year, Josh Hart will take an additional $5 million. So that would leave them $30 million. Emmanuel Quickly should be in the $20 million range, right? Emmanuel Quickly should be in the $20 million range next year. So you figure 20 million for IQ. So that leaves you 10 million. Hartenstein should not be any more than the $10 million. That's the fact. I can guarantee you he won't be, because the Don's not going to go over luxury tax. So you're dealing with those three players, and you're going to have the money to deal with them, because you're going to, Fournier will be out. Then you'll get Josh Hart in, as I said, no more than 18 million. I really think they should re-sign him for 16 to 17 million. And then you're going to have Emmanuel Quickly, who's worth every bit of 20 million a year. And then the rest of that money, they're going to re-sign Hartenstein probably and give him a long-term deal. And it'll probably, he'll start off at 10 million or something like that. And so they would still be at or below the luxury tax at the end of next year. So that's still, so because again, you don't have to deal with RJ, Mitchell Robinson. You don't have to deal, what's up, Michael Drake? You don't have to deal with Randall, Brunson, none of those guys. You have to deal with Grimes next year. His salary is going to be the rookie scale again. You don't have to deal with DiVincenzo. None of that you have to worry about, next year. So you're in good shape, going into 2024, 2025. So the Knicks will be in good financial shape next year, as has been actually, to be honest and fair about it, over the 4 years, or now, no, this will be the fourth year of Leon Rose and Brock Aller. They have been tremendous in managing the cap. They have been tremendous in managing the cap. So so they're gonna. That's not accidental. That's by design. This is how they manage stuff. They're very concerned with the money, and they don't want to pay anything more than they need to pay. So and that's another reason why you didn't see a big deal for anybody this summer. No so-called, as Mark Byrne would say, no blockbusters, because they're not going to overpay for a player. They're not going to do that. When they go shopping for talent, they have a number in their mind. Just like any, frugal shopper. Shalom, Organic. When any frugal shopper, hey, Felicia Lee Misliga, blessings to you. Webb, Emilio Figueroa, Josh Snyder, blessings to all of you. But any shopper goes out. If you're going to buy something, you're going out to buy something. Let's say you're going out to buy a steak, and you have a price in mind that you will pay for the ribeye steak. And if the ribeye steak is more than that, you might think about it, but you're probably not going to pay it. You're going to shop for a steak that's in your price range, right? So you might go to one supermarket and you don't like the price. Then you go to another one and hopefully you get a better price of what you're willing to pay. Let's say you want to pay $22 for the steak, and you go to one store and it's $30. You're not paying that. It's because you got in your mind, you're not going to pay more than $22 for the steak today. So that is how the Knicks approach talent when they're looking at talent. So they've been doing that for 3 years. I know people have all kind of wild speculations and they love to play fantasy basketball, but Leon Rose doesn't do that. And so I'm glad he doesn't do that. So he's very conservative with how he handles money. And even with this Fournier situation, he's not going to just give Fournier away because he's griping. If Fournier becomes a locker room problem, they'll send him home. Okay, they'll send him home. And if he wants to be bought out, He's going to take a haircut on the 19 million. I can tell you right now, he's going to take a haircut on the 19 million. So the Don's not going to, he don't care about, Fournier's wine. He ain't got no cheese for it. So forget it. So we're going to use the 19 million for the advantage of the Knicks. And that's where it should be. Okay. And this is what I'm going to rebuke some people right now. I'm not going to call nobody by name, but every situation for the Knicks is not a situation that calls for you to crap on a team you claim to be a fan of. Let me say that again. Every situation that comes up for the Knicks is not a call for you to crap on a team that you claim to be a fan of. If you don't like the Knicks, just say you're a Boston fan, or you're a Bucks fan, or you're a Nets fan. Don't come saying you're a fan of the Knicks. And I'll give you an example. So this Fournier situation, people thought this is a call to fire Tom Thibodeau. Fire Tom Thibodeau. Why? Because, he could have played him a couple of minutes. No, he couldn't. He plays a 9-man rotation. And because some people don't like it, he's not going to change because you don't like it. And then some people had to say, well, he has no imagination on offense. Please, one of y'all tell me which pro team did you coach offense on? Because I don't, what pro team did you coach offense on that you know more than Tom Thibodeau, who's been coaching in the NBA for 30 years? I just what I want to know that. Okay. And then all of a sudden now, all the players around the league gonna see how you treated Fournier, and they may not win. It doesn't look good. Fournier's getting $19 million. Fournier getting $19 million. Where exactly is this bad? He can't play good enough defense to break into the lineup. Grimes is way better than him. I already showed you all the stats. It's not even close. Okay? And not only that, the only reason all this speculation came up about Embiid to the Knicks is because of Embiid's immense respect for the Don. That's why it was even a conversation. That's why it was. Because of Embiid's immense respect for the Don. Okay? So all of this calls to fire Tom Thibodeau, and this is the thing I had to do a video last fall because the Knicks came out the gate slow, as they do every year, but some people, fire Tibbs, and the title of the video was, I got Tibbs back, forget y'all. I've seen too many bad coaches on the Knicks. I've seen too many bad coaches on the Knicks to not recognize we got a good one here. Okay? So some of y'all need to, take your hatred to your shrink, or your counselor, your priest, or whoever. But stop dumping on the Knicks when you're supposed to be a fan. You understand? Or just say, you're a Bulls fan, you're a Heat fan, whatever. They're not going to understand it. But crapping on Tibbs because of every little wrinkle that comes up. Oh my gosh, man. I mean, it doesn't even sound like intelligence. Seriously, you got a coach that has won more in the last 3 years than the previous coaches won in the last 5 years. Got you in the playoffs 2 out of the 3 seasons. And you're talking about firing. So you would fire some coach, right? You would fire Tibbs and hire whoever, Mark Jackson or whoever you're dreaming about, whoever you wet dreaming about. And you hire whoever, and they have a losing season. Then what? Like I said, man, my suggestion, if you're not, if you're dealing with that Thunderbird too heavy, should lay off it. And if you got problems that cause you to reach for that bottle, go ahead and join an AA group and just say, my name is Knicks fan and I'm an alcoholic. Just go ahead and do that because that's going to help you. Follow them 10 steps. You understand? So the way the Knicks are managing this salary stuff is great. It's tremendous. This is tremendous management. So the way it's looking at now, they're going to be under the luxury tax again next year. Okay, as they are this year. And they're going to have everybody sign. And let me tell you something, you've seen some crazy salaries this year already. I mean, like I said, Desmond Bain signed for $207 million. Desmond Bain, bottom of the first round. Then you got, you got Halliburton signed for $260 million. You got LaMelo Ball, who can't stay healthy, by the way. He's a great player, but he can't stay healthy. And he's getting $260 million. Your highest paid player next year is going to be Julius Randle at $20-something million. See, that's tremendous management. That's tremendous management right there. That's tremendous management. Any way you slice it. Okay. So, and you're not talking about a team that's trying to make the play in like Oklahoma City. You're talking about a team that was 5th in the East last year and 4th in the East 2 years ago. So you're talking about a playoff team and their highest paid player in an era where guys are making 200+ million is 120 million. That's we really ain't got nothing to complain about, Knicks Nation. We really don't. So yeah, and so based on what we're talking about here, if they make a move to send Fournier to San Antonio or wherever they send him, I don't think they're going to take back salary that's going to go past next season. You understand? So Fournier is basically an expiring deal because they're not going to exercise, the option to give him another $20 million. But so he's going to be an expiring deal. And that, like I said, that $19 million is valuable to keep the Knicks under. So if they move him, they're going to either get back draft capital, second round picks or whatever, or a small salary that's going to expire, at the same time that Fournier's would expire next year. So that's how, that's going to go. Now, I'm cautiously proud and excited about Quentin Grimes playing on the select team. I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't like when any Knicks player plays on any other team in the summer, obviously because of the risk of injury. That's I understand it. It's good experience, right? Good experience. They're playing ball. That's what they're paid to do. But they're paid to play ball in Knicks uniform, not on select team or an RJ case in the King Canada. But I get it. I like it better for Grimes than for RJ, but I feel good. RJ's good. If y'all remember, Grimes was in the Rising Stars competition and got robbed of the MVP this past season. Y'all remember that, right? He was dominating the Rising Stars with all these good players on the team. He was dominating. And they gave the MVP to Alvarado, which was a robbery because it was clear the best player on the floor. Think about that. In the NBA Rising Stars competition, just take Grimes' name out of it for a second. In the NBA Rising Stars competition, these are the future stars of the NBA, right? It's called Rising Stars. They're in their first or second season. The best player on the floor was a New York Knicks. Wait, you get that one? So the best player on the floor is a New York Knicks. And he was only in his second year. Okay? So when Grimes plays for the select team, he's basically going to be a practice squad for the FIBA team. That's what they are, right? But the guys he's playing with, the Trey Murphy III, he's going to be playing with Payton Pritchard. He's going to be playing with some good players, right? That's going to help him. And then they're playing against the FIBA team, which is the regular senior NBA team. So this is going to be excellent experience for Quentin Grimes. I like it better than RJ's because he's a practice guy. Basically, the select team is a practice squad. Okay. So he's not really out there trying to grind like win a game in a tournament or something. So I just need him to get reps. Also, Brunson is playing along with Josh Hart, but Brunson's more important to me in this scenario. Brunson's playing for the USA team, and according to Steve Kerr, he's going to be playing a lot of minutes. That's another thing I don't like, but I'm glad that Brunson and Grimes will be there together. They will have time to work together, while they're out there, and hopefully they're working together now. So, because that's going to be an important duo coming up into this season here. Grimes and Brunson will be an important duo coming up. And I think this is going to be a big year for Grimes because of the next thing we're going to talk about, RJ Barrett. Let me just explain the power forward situation for y'all, because some of y'all just don't get it yet. Neither RJ Barrett nor Josh Hart, though they will both be backup power forwards, they are not going to play a lot of minutes at that position. It's not like RJ is going to play 40 minutes at the power forward spot. Okay? Let's be conservative. So Julius Randle, right? We know he plays a lot of minutes every year. But let's say, for the sake of argument, if I said to you that Julius Randle would play 30 minutes a game this year, that's a good hunk of minutes, but it's not his usual, right? We know that Julius plays over to 35, 36 minutes a game. But let's say, for the sake of argument, he plays 30 minutes a game this year for the Knicks, right? Which would be good, because generally if he does that, then it's going to preserve him, to me, as you get to the playoffs, and less likely that he hurts his ankle or something. So that's kind of good. So that leaves 18 minutes a game at the power forward spot. That leaves 18 minutes a game. Okay. Probably what you will see is RJ play 9 to 12 minutes up at that spot. And you will probably see Josh Hart play between 6 and 9 minutes. So you're talking about 9 minutes for each guy at that position. That's not an entire game. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So some of y'all talk, we're going to get killed. We're not going to get killed for 9 minutes. All right? That's what I'm saying to you. Let's be realistic and not, come on. Yo. So it's not like either of these guys are going to play heavy minutes at the 4. They're backups. They're going to be basically splitting the minutes Obi Toppin was getting. Okay? Obi was getting about 15 minutes. So that was last year. And I was conservative, say, let's say Julius could very well play his normal minutes. If he played 35 minutes, there's only about 13 minutes left to split up. That's not a lot of minutes. That's basically just holding down the fort. Y'all hear me? That's all we're talking about. So it's no need for anybody to be tripping. This is never going to work. Not that, first of all, they've done it before. It's not like Tom Thibodeau likes to play RJ at the 4. I could give you the proof. He likes to play RJ at the 4 when Julius is up. He does. There was a game last year before they traded Cam Reddish where Cam was available. Obi hurt his thigh. And so the question was, would Cam get those minutes that Obi would get? And Tibbs didn't hesitate. He said, RJ would get those minutes. I like RJ at the backup power forward. Okay, he said that. I'm not guessing. This is what Tibbs said. You can look that up. Okay. So he likes RJ at the backup power forward. And what he said, his quote was, because he's been successful at doing it for us before. See, some of y'all just don't pay attention. Well, we've never done this. This won't work. No, it would work. It has worked before. We've done it. Okay. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So you're talking about a maximum of probably 18 minutes, and that's going to be split between RJ and Hart. So it's not like you got to depend on them to win you the game at the 4. Okay. Now, if, God forbid, but if Julius got hurt, see, to me, the Knicks just put all their chips on Julius Randle for the second time. First, by signing him to the new contract, the 4-year deal that he's playing under right now, and then second, by trading Obi Toppin. So they putting all their chips on Julius Randle. Okay. And that's cool. I mean, he got his faults and all that. Sorry, Gumby, but he does. It ain't like he's perfect, but he's important. So, but if he was to get hurt and miss some games, then you would still see RJ, but he'd be playing more minutes at the 4. You'd see a lot more Grimes at the 3. And then Tibbs would have to make a choice between Jericho Sims and two of the two-way guys that we signed, or what's it, Isaiah Roby and Nathan, whatever his name, Knight. They would be backing up whoever, like RJ, starting at the 4. Okay, one of those 3 guys. Tibbs would have to make that decision at that time, but that's not something you're dealing with right away. Especially if Julius is Julius, which he's, last year he missed a little bit of games and he still played 77 games. Okay, even though, he got hurt at the end of the season, he still played 77 games. If you got 77 games out of every player on your team, your starting team, you're doing really good. Okay, so in a year where he hurt his ankle, he's still, one thing about Randall, he lacks an IQ. Yes, he gets emotional, he's mercurial and all that, but you cannot say the guy's not available. Dude is there, okay? He's like a brick doodle house. Dude is there, okay? He's going to be there, right? So more than likely we're good. But, and like I said, it's no problem playing RJ 9 minutes a game at the power forward. I don't know what people are tripping about. That's all you're talking about, really. You're talking about 9 minutes a game at power forward. That's it. Okay? So we'll be all right. Okay? We'll be all right. And it's not like they haven't done it before. Again, for all of you, like Mr. Irving Green, go back and look at the stats, look at the film. RJ has played the 4 very, very effectively for the Knicks over the last 2 seasons. He's done it. So it's not like it's never happened. This is not a theoretical situation. We're not talking about even a hypothesis. We're talking about something that's actually been done. It's like saying, I don't think the Joker can win the MVP. I don't think he's capable of winning the MVP. I mean, you know how dumb that sounds, right? And then you say, wait, he's won 2 MVPs. And so it's like we're looking at it as a hypothesis, but it's really happened already, right? Well, I don't think Giannis can get Defensive Player of the Year. Well, he's already done it, right? It's like people saying, I heard some people say, like, wait, I don't think OG Anunoby is as good a defender as people think he is. So he's all NBA defense this year, and he led the league in steals. But you don't think he could play defense? See, that's what I'm talking about. So there's a difference. We're talking about hypothesis, which something has never done, and we're kind of guesstimating what we think could happen, like I did with the salary, right? That's a hypothesis. So we talk about the salary. Next year it's going to be, I said 176. I was wrong. Next year it'll be 182 million. That's right. It'll be 182 million, not 176. So again, paying all of those guys, the Knicks will have an extra $6 million under the luxury tax. That's a hypothesis, because next year we know Hart's going to get paid, and I'm telling you, he's not going to get any more than 18 million, which is 5 million more than he got this year. We know IQ is going to get paid, and he should get 20 million a year. Shouldn't even be a question about that. And then of course they got to re-up Isaiah Hartenstein, which I don't expect it to be more than the mid-level exception, the taxpayer, non-taxpayer mid-level exception. So that'll be a $10 million from the Don, who'll move on with life, So they'll do that. Maybe 12, like Dante's salary. He'll get something like that. So that's it. And we're under the luxury tax. Now that's a hypothesis. Hey, what's up, Drip Moore? Florida man, how you doing? Jersey Shore 74, John Sharif. And of course, the incomparable Gumby. So, what was I saying? So that's a hypothesis, okay? But I think that's a realistic hypothesis, because we surely, like I said, does anybody here really think Josh Hart's going to get more than 18 million a year? Any of y'all think? I don't think he is. Begley said the max he can get is 81 million. And, so that's the max he can get over a 4-year deal. And Begley even said he's not going to get that. I don't think he is either. I think he's going to get more in line with 18 million a year or even a little less, but that's where he should be. Okay, he's a bench piece. Okay, let's not get carried away. IQ's different. IQ's a starter level guy on the bench, so he's going to get his 20 million, right? He should. So that's a hypothesis. But when we're talking about RJ Barrett playing 9 minutes a game at the 4, that's not a hypothesis. It's been done before. It's been done successfully before. He does it on the second unit, y'all. Okay, and that's the thing we have to understand. RJ would be playing those minutes in the second unit, and I think everybody understand, right? RJ plays better, I think, in the second unit than he does in the first unit. Y'all know that, right? Somebody was sitting, spamming my channel with some YouTube video about RJ scoring all of these points against, I don't know if it was Boston or Miami or whoever it was. And, he was trying to make the point that RJ's, too good to trade, I think. And what I was saying to him, and I looked at the highlights. See, don't mess with me with highlights because I'm going to study if I care to, right? So I looked at the highlights. And in that game where RJ scored like 26, I'd say about 16 of those points came with RJ playing the 4 in the second unit. So it kind of proved. So, and y'all remember a couple weeks ago, I said, man, I think the Knicks would be better if they started IQ at the 2 and Grimes at the 3. They'd win more games and bring RJ off the bench in the second unit. And I'm not saying RJ is a scrub. Obviously, I've never said that. But what I'm saying is he's really good in the second unit, and he plays the 4 in the second unit. Unless he's playing with Obi, which he does that too. But Obi's not here now. Thought process, thanks for the $5. I was comparing today's Knicks to Tibbs, Bulls, Rose, JB, Hendricks, Grimes, Dang, RJ, blah, blah, blah. Well, we need to supersede that team to the chip. Let's not let who's JB? JB shouldn't get hurt. The only thing that stopped that team from going to the championship was Rose wrecking his knee. There was problem. That Bulls team, before Rose wrecked his knee, that Bulls team was a problem. Okay. And they were going to continue to be a problem. They were going to continue to be a problem. So that is what stopped that team from going all the way, or at least going to the conference finals, or to the finals, because that team was a problem. Okay. And if you're comparing Rose to Brunson, we just need Brunson to stay healthy. That is why I'm thinking they really, Brunson played 68 games this past season. I'd like him to play 68 games this year and let IQ, Deuce, Dante, whoever start, in his place for the rest of the games so that he's fresh for the playoffs. Because Brunson is a playoff guy. The Knicks got a playoff killer. As you all saw last year, even with hurt ankles, they got a playoff killer in Jalen Brunson. He showed that when he was in Dallas, and he showed it in New York last year. So he's a playoff killer. He's an assassin in the playoffs. So you want him ready. That's all we would need to do is make sure that he's healthy. That's it, really, because the Knicks are going to be a problem this year, in my opinion. They're going to be much more of a problem. Somebody told me that who was the drunken fools that called for the Knicks to be a playing team this year? Which one was it? Sports Illustrated, or who was it? Was it ESPN? Which one of these drunken fools called for these fools with too much wine and too much exposure? Call for the Knicks to be a playing team or something. I don't know, but the Knicks are going to be a problem this year for the NBA. They really are. They're going to be a problem. So I like Grimes playing on the select team. I just don't want him to get hurt. Lewis Luck, thanks for the $5. Any word a new GM is going to be, does it matter? No, it's going to be that. I think it's going to be that guy from Minnesota. That's all. And it doesn't matter. The GM for the Knicks is just part of a team of management. The Knicks run management as a team, led by Leon Rose. And that's how it is. They got titles, but it's not going to be it's not like your traditional GM that has all the juice and makes all the trades. No move is going to be done without the consensus and the final approval of Leon Rose. That's how this is going to roll. Okay. You understand? So So I think it's that guy Gerson. What was his name? Gerson, Lewis Luck. I think his name is Gerson. That's going to be probably your GM. Makes it very simple. Not much of a transition needs to be done. That's it. and you just move on. And then you're dealing with your same management team: Walrod West, Leon Rose, Walt Perrin, Rojas. You're dealing with the same crew, and you're going to have a consensus. And that's where you see Ian Begley. If you've noticed over the last 3 years, he'll say something like this: X player has a lot of fans in the front office, or has fans in the front office. That means of the decision makers, there's at least one that likes this particular player, right? But the bottom line is going to always be Leon Rose. Okay, he's going to always. So, like in Miami, Pat Riley is not the general manager in Miami, but you best believe there's no decisions made unless Riley's putting his stamp on it, right? That's how this rolls in New York. It's Leon Rose. So whoever the GM is, okay, but he's going to have a say. But the stamp of approval that makes a deal get done is Leon Rose. That's just going to happen. The Don. That's why I call him the Don. Everybody, got to say, okay, and players may have fans, but the bottom line, Rosas, thank you, Blair. Gerson Rosas, that's his name, is Leon Rose's decision. So that's how that's going to roll. Hey, not much, Cherokee. And we were talking about the salary next year. The Knicks, the salary for the luxury tax going from 165 next year should be something around 182, 183. And the Knicks, again, paying IQ, paying Josh Hart, and paying Isaiah Hartenstein next year are still going to be under the luxury tax. And so we were talking about how the Knicks are doing tremendously in terms of management of this cap. Very, very well. Good morning, Miss. Good morning, Miss. Good afternoon, Miss Edwards. Malcorn D. Hey, from Miami. All right. Down in Miami. And Kevin Milton. Louis Luck, thanks for the $5. I watch Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show because of the series. It's actually a good show, but they still salty about losing to the Knicks. Well, you know what, Louis Luck? You're right. But you know what, too? They should be salty, right? They went and put out a lot to go get Donovan Mitchell, and the Knicks did not. So they got Donovan Mitchell. They had Donovan Mitchell, and they had Garland, Darius Garland. They had their full contingent, and they got their ass beat. So, yeah, they should be salty. And the Knicks should be happy, right? We didn't give up all our assets to go get Donovan Mitchell, and we beat them in 5 games. What y'all call that? A gentleman's sweep, right? Isn't that what you call it? A gentleman's sweep. So, yeah, they should be salty. They was thinking that, oh, man, we playing the Knicks. Oh, we got Donovan Mitchell. Oh, man, we're ready, baby. Yeah, you are. Ready for vacation. Ready for an early vacation. There you go. So, yeah, and now I'm talking about Grimes. Last year, he plays very well in these situations when he's up against really good competition, and he gets to do more than just have to play defense like he does with the Knicks. So, in the Rising Stars competition, I was saying, Cherokee, that he really got robbed of the MVP. He scored like 27. He was like 60% from 3. The boy was killing. He was the best player on the floor in the Rising Stars game, and he didn't get the MVP. They gave it to Alvarado, right, which was a robbery. I don't understand that. But anyway, my boy Quentin Q Dog did his thing, and it was good. And all of us as Knicks fans should be very happy that the best player on the floor in the Rising Stars game was a New York Knick. So now he's going to play on the select team, and he's going to be practicing against Jalen Brunson every day. So they get, he gets to get better playing with some really good players, playing with Trey Murphy III, playing with Payton Pritchard. He can play with some good players, and they're playing against Jalen Brunson and a whole contingent of really good players. So this is going to be good. Good morning, Isaac Smith. This is going to be good for Q Dog coming into. Hey, how long do they play? I think it starts in August, right? It starts August 25th, and I think it's for a week. Am I right? Yo, that FIBA Cup is like a week, maybe at the most 10 days. It starts in like August. What is it? August 25th. Yeah, it's August 25th. And I don't think it's no more than a week. I think it ends, I'm looking at it here, ends the 29th even. So some 29th or the 30th, something like that. Yeah. So that's good to know. Now RJ's playing for Team Canada. All right, listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Team Canada, to me, looks like the team to beat. What y'all think? I think Team Canada looks like the team to beat, man. They got a team over there at Team Canada, man. And I'm kind of proud that it looks like RJ Barrett is going to be starting for Team Canada. And that's with Jamal Murray, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They got Dylan Brooks over there. They got all of all of that. They're gonna have a whole bunch of Kelly Olynyk. They got a nice squad. Corey Joseph. They got a nice squad, man. So this is gonna be good for RJ. Well, because I didn't know, when you're talking about Lucas asked why wouldn't he start, it was because I didn't know what they were going to do when you got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Jamal Murray. That's why. I mean, you got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Jamal Murray. I wasn't sure if RJ was going to get a chance to start with those two guys playing. So, but he's starting, which is good. So, yeah, Team Canada. So it's in Corey Joseph, Andrew Nimhart, RJ Barrett. You got a good squad, man. You got a good squad. So yeah, it's good experience. I just don't want him to get hurt. RJ's game is not predicated on a lot of above the rim play. And so hopefully, he doesn't get hurt, stuff like that. Last year, y'all remember he hurt his thumb. He dislocated a finger, and that messed him up for a little bit. But hopefully this year he stays healthy and in good shape here. Because RJ, I believe with Obi out and RJ getting, like I said, 9 to 12 minutes at the backup 4 spot, I think that's going to help RJ a lot. I think RJ will be very much improved because of that. Just because of that, I think, because of the fact that I don't think many 4s could stay with him, especially second unit 4. So RJ is going to be playing against mostly second unit power forwards. Okay. I don't think they could stay with him. I just don't, that's what I've been seeing when I see him play on the second unit. I don't think they can stay with him. And so he takes advantage of that. And he's very smart to do that. So, and don't let his jump. He has to show improvement defensively, though. RJ has to get better defensively. Mr. William 1074, thanks for the $5. Greeny brother, RJ is slow as a 2 or 3, but as a 4 physically would make him a borderline. I agree. I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong, Mr. Williams, or I'm not going to say that, but conservatively speaking, he is too much for second unit 4s. He's shown that already. We don't even have to get it. He's shown that already. He's too much for second unit 4s. So if he can improve defensively overall, 2 areas I'm looking for improvement. Not only 2. I mean, he needs 4 areas of improvement. He needs to improve a consistent 3-point shot. He needs to lose the Ray Charles game. He needs to improve at the foul line. He needs to improve defensively, and he definitely has to finish when he gets inside the paint, because he gets inside the paint almost at will. He gets inside the paint almost anytime he wants. He just doesn't finish, right? So he needs to finish inside the paint. So if he can improve in 2 of those areas, and the 2 I'd like to see, number 1 is his defense. I'd like to see his defense improve. I'm not looking for him to really shoot 40% from 3 this year. It'd be nice if he did, but I am looking for him, because he's now 23. He's getting into his man body. I'm now looking for him to finish more efficiently inside the paint. Okay, I'm looking for him to finish more. I'm looking for improved defense, and I'm looking for him to finish more efficiently. He's one of the worst finishers in the NBA, statistically speaking. He's one of the worst finishers inside the paint in the NBA, okay? And I believe he's better than that. So I'm thinking this year I'd like to see him do a little bit better at that, and I'd like to see him, improve defensively. So if they play him 9 to 12 minutes at the 4 spot, which would be great, I think that's going to help his overall stats as well as help the Knicks, because he's going to be really dangerous, at the 4 spot. I think he will. So that'll be good for him. And I'm thinking playing with Team Canada, again, he's playing with some really good players, and, he's playing with really good players, and he's going to get good experience. Just don't get hurt. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So and then we talked about Fournier. And Fournier, like I said, I don't care what they do with this fool. I know that Leon Rose, though, is good. The most important thing about Fournier isn't his shooting. It's not. The most important thing about Evan Fournier for the Knicks is that $19 million. That's the most important thing. Because right now, as I said, the Knicks are at $160 million. They're $5 million under the luxury tax. You take away the $19 million for Fournier, it goes down to 141. With the luxury tax number going up to 182 next year, and you're starting at 141, that gives you $41 million to play with next year. And you're not going to have to spend all of that on Hartenstein. You're going to have to spend money for 3 players next year: Hartenstein, IQ, and you're going to have to spend money for Josh Hart. You're not going to have to spend $41 million for those 3. Okay, you're not, because Hart's salary is $13 million, so and that's already baked into the 141. So you're talking about whatever he makes over that. And again, I don't expect him to make more than 18. So you're talking about an increase of $5 million. So he's only going to take up an extra $5 million of the $41 million. I think IQ is worth every bit of $20 million. That leaves them $16 million. I'm expecting that to represent the mid-level exception, maybe if they have one. No, I think Dante got that, so they don't have that. So they're going to probably pay Hartenstein about $10 million. Okay, they paid him that this last 2 years. They'll probably pay him about $10 million, and that would be leaving them $6 million under the luxury tax. And they don't have to increase payment for anyone. They're still going to have RJ. Everybody else is paid and done. They don't have to worry about that. They don't have to worry about Grimes for another year. And when Grimes' time come up, the luxury tax salary will be over $200 million. So they'll be in good shape there too. So the Knicks are managing their money fabulously. They really are. They really are, especially for a playoff team. They're managing their money fabulously. So, and then I was explaining, so Fournier is valuable to us for that. If they need to buy him out, right? Buy him out and let him go. And if you're dealing with Leon Rose on a buyout, he might get a big haircut, man. He might get a big haircut. Then he can go play for, give him $12 million, and then he can go play for Popovich in San Antonio, right? So we just need to get rid of the salary. We don't need any more players. So that's why I'm bringing that up, because a lot of people are going to be saying, we can get so-and-so, we can get so. No, we don't need to go get anybody. We're good right now. We're good. Okay? Don't need anybody else. And so, again, just to recap, as far as power forward, RJ and Hart are not playing 40 minutes a game at power forward. So it's not like people say, we're going to get killed at the 4. No, we won't. Julius Randle is going to be playing 30 minutes at least, maybe as high as 35 minutes at the 4. So you're talking about a maximum of 18 minutes left to split between Hart and RJ. RJ is going to get most of those minutes. So you're talking about 12 minutes at the 4 for RJ, 9 to 12 minutes. That's not a whole game, y'all. Okay, so we don't have to be tripping about getting killed at the 4. It's not that serious. We're going to be all right. Okay, small ball for about 9 minutes for the Knicks is going to be good. Really going to be good. Okay, Lewis Luck, thanks for the $5, brother. RJ's performance in the playoffs gives me hope. I kind of don't want to trade him unless it's for Giannis, Luka, and B. Let's keep our guy. Well, I think Leon Rose agrees with you, Lewis Luck, because he didn't trade RJ, and there's nobody in this summer. I think the prices of the superstars were inflated, and that's why you didn't see RJ get traded. It's about the money. Okay, so if you were going to go get OG Anunoby and he was going to demand $30 million a year, I think that's reasonable, but Leon may not, and you're already paying RJ 24, so why would you go pay, so he's going to think, no, I'm going to keep RJ. He's got RJ locked up. He's got RJ locked up for 4 years. So, why does he need to do anything? He doesn't really. So, that's what we're talking about. So I don't think you have to worry about that, especially if it didn't get done yet. I don't think it's going to. So I still don't understand, unless OG Anunoby has already decided he's going to re-sign with Toronto. It makes no sense to me why Masai Ujiri is hanging on to him. It makes no sense to me, because if you lose him for nothing, you're going to lose your job, because you just lost Fred VanVleet for nothing, and all you did is replace him with Schroeder. That ain't going to cut. So I'm surprised. So I must assume that he's going to re-sign OG Anunoby. Otherwise, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Yeah, I don't understand what he's doing unless, like I said, it makes perfect sense if OG's going to re-sign with Toronto. It makes perfect sense then. But if he doesn't, none of this makes sense. Okay, none of this makes sense. So we'll see. I don't know what's going on over there, but that's the logic I'm looking at. If OG wants to re-sign with Toronto, then we don't need to talk about it. But if he doesn't, it makes no sense that Masai Ujiri will still have him on the roster in October. It makes no sense at all, because then you're going to lose him for nothing. Irving Green, would I play IQ $25 million a year? Yeah, I would. I hope we don't have to, but I would. I would pay him that. He's worth that. IQ's worth that. Every nickel. You're talking about a guy that's a starter level point guard. He can play the two for you. He can defend at a high level. He's a dynamic scorer. And he's only going into his third season. Or is it? No, his fourth season now. So, yeah, I would pay him that. Especially when you're looking at the going rate out here in the market for guys like that. How much did Tyler Hero get? I think Tyler Hero got over $100 million, didn't he? So you're talking that's a lot of money. So that's what IQ's agent is looking at. Tyler Hero's 120, I think, 120 million. So yeah. So to give him 25, yeah, I'd do it. I would. I wouldn't think twice about it. I try to get him at 20 though. I try to get him at 20. Yeah. No matter what lineup you put IQ in, it's plus. You put him with a dog, it's plus. I mean, so yeah, I would pay him. There's no doubt. I'm hoping we can get him between 20 and 22. I'm hoping he'll take, a contract that's like 90 million, and it'll start off at 20 million and rise, over the next 4 seasons. That's what I'm hoping. So this is a year to get a rising kind of contract because of the fact that the salary kept going up like that. So, yeah, Brock Aller, right. So, but I would answer the question that Mr. Green just posed. I would definitely pay him 25 million. I would know I'm getting away with murder paying him 25 million because he's that good. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just glad we still have him. I'm glad we still have him. What is he's playing over there in France? Is that what FIBA? Because he's over there playing in France somewhere. I don't know what he's doing, but just don't get hurt. Just don't get hurt. So Brock Aller has done a tremendous job for New York with the salary cap. I hope that, when you're talking about Dolan paying out money, right? I hope that he's paying his front office heavy money because we don't want to lose Brock Aller. We don't want to lose Walt Perrin. We don't want to lose these guys, man. We lost already the guy from Kentucky that ended up going to Louisville. We lost already Woodson. I understand that because those guys had their eyes on their prospective teams that they're at right now. I don't want to. The only guy that I feel like they might lose, and I'm hoping they don't, is Johnny Bryant. Johnny Bryant, I want to keep him, but Johnny Bryant is going to want a head coaching role. He's paid his dues. And that's why I'm telling you, Tibbs is going to play out his 5-year deal. And if he doesn't go to the front office, which he might, then I would say they're going to give that job to Johnny Bryant. And they should. He's paid his dues. So, and he's under Tibbs. He knows the system. He's been in New York. He's now been in New York 3 years. So, D-Coolis, you don't understand. You can't value. D-Coolis says you don't pay IQ more than Brunson. That's not how we look at it. That's not how the NBA look at it. This is the league. This is not like, Christmas party. You look at what the money's available in the market and you go from there. So the money that's going to be available in the market next year. So, like right now, like I wouldn't have paid, like if you're going to go by your logic, you don't pay Desmond Bane more than you pay Jalen Brunson. Okay. You don't pay Desmond Bane more than you pay Jalen Brunson. Yet Desmond Bane got twice the salary. Why? Because that money's out there now. See? So you got to look at what money's out there. It's not based on, sometimes it's based on what another player got, but sometimes it's based on what's out there. And next summer, there's going to be more money out there. So that's why IQ's going to get more. Okay, that's why he's going to get more. And I'm not saying he's going to get more than there was NBA players take this all the time. They opt out at times when they know the money's out there to get more money, right? To get the money that they feel like they get. Okay, so I don't know, but no, that's not true, Miss Edwards. Tibbs has been coaching young players a long time on FIBAs. He's been on USA teams. He's done a lot. People don't know. I don't know why people box Tibbs into this thing. Like, he can coach young players. He can scout young players. Every year he's out here scouting players. Every year. He scouted IQ while IQ was a sophomore at Kentucky. He liked IQ from when he was a sophomore at Kentucky. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Tibbs has no problem with young players. He just has players he likes and players he doesn't. And sometimes we don't understand why he doesn't like a player. I don't either. Like, why wouldn't he like Obi? But it is what it is, man. Yeah, he's getting 26 million, but really Brunson is worth 40 million. Wouldn't you all agree? Like, Brunson is worth at least what Halliburton's getting, right? If it was like fair, right? Brunson's worth what Halliburton's getting. Halliburton's getting 260 million. Brunson's at least worth as much as LaMelo Ball is getting, right? So it's when they signed. You understand? So Brunson signed last year. That's the money that was out there. So he's not going to get that because he signed last year, right? So players that signed this year got more, and players that signed next year gets more, right? That's why we would like, as Knicks fans, we would like the Knicks to extend quickly now, like between now and the first game. They have to the first game of the year to extend him. I'd like them to get this done now. So we don't have to worry about paying him 30 million or some other team offering him 35 million. So yeah. Andrew Abraham asked, why do I think I don't think that? In fact, I didn't say that. I didn't say Hart was worth 4 years and 80 million. In fact, I said opposite. I said he's not going to get that. By NBA rules, the maximum that Hart can sign for is $81 million. That by the rules, that's based on his salary, where he's come from. That's the max he could sign for. 4 years, 81 million. And Ian Begley said he's not going to get that. And I agree, he's not going to get that. And so I'm saying 18 million, that would be 72 million over 4 years. That would be a nice number for him. It might be even a little too much to me, but I think they're going to give him that 18 million a year. That's the max by the rules, by the league rules. There is a max that a player can get based on his performance, based on his draft position, based on if he's made an all-star team or an all-NBA team. There's a maximum number that each player can get based on that. And based on his position, the max he could get is 4 years, 81 million. That's the max he could get. And Ian was saying he's not going to get the max. And I'm telling you now, he's not going to get the max. Yeah. So the max for him is 81 million. He's not going to get it. He's probably going to get, like I said, 72, and I think that's too much, but he's probably going to get 72 million. 4 years, 18 million a year. That's what he should get. So but IQ is different. IQ is different. So good afternoon. Do I think that we will make a trade? No, we're not going to make a trade. We're going to war with what we got. And we're going to win more than 50 games this year. We're going to war with what we got. And we're going to win more than 50 games this year. No, it's all right, Ike. But yeah, so no. We're going to war with what we got. And we're good. Okay? We don't need to open any new Christmas presents. Going to war with what we got. Yeah, it's true, Winston Jones. Continuity means something, especially when you're a playoff team. You want continuity. Because now the Knicks have proven that they have the roster to get in the playoffs and to win a series. So now you want that roster to continue to play together. And you want them to continue to grow. And they will. Okay? Now, do we have some weaknesses? Sure. Sure we do. Every team does. Okay? Let me ask you all a question. You ready? Do the Denver Nuggets make the playoffs if the Joker gets hurt? If the Joker gets hurt, I'm not even talking about winning the championship. Do the Denver Nuggets make the playoffs if the Joker gets hurt? You heard? No, they don't make the playoffs. They may not even be 500. See what I'm saying? So if the Joker twists his ankle and misses 20 games, that's a big loss. Let me tell you one more thing. Do the Denver Nuggets win a championship if Jamal Murray misses a whole season? Do they win a championship if Jamal Murray misses the season? No. They're a playoff team, but they don't win the championship. So every team has a risk of injury that can sink them. Every team does. Okay. Without Jimmy Butler, do the Miami Heat go to the finals? Cherokee, thanks for the $2. Knicks and Giants going to take over New York. I hope you're right. Keith Watkins, $5. Thank you. Late log and usually ask for synopsis, but you've been going a while. I'll rewatch. Thank you, sir. Small contribution for your effort, sir. Thank you, Mr. Watkins. I appreciate that. Keep up the great work. Thank you for that. Thanks for the love. So every team does. Let me ask you, if Giannis is healthy, do Milwaukee lose to Miami in the playoffs? If Giannis is healthy, does the Bucks lose to Miami Heat in the playoffs? No, they don't. See? So every team has a risk. You can't cover all your risks. No team can. Some of the fans in New York seem to think that we can just cover every risk with another all-star. It don't work like that. Every team has weaknesses. Every team has risks. Every team has possibilities of blowing their season up with one injury. Every team does. Okay? Every team does. That's why I was hoping the Knicks could keep Obi Toppin. I knew he was a starter because if you do lose a Julius Randle and you put Obi Toppin in his place, I was very confident we wouldn't miss nothing. We can keep winning. Okay? But you can't always do that. And Obi's in a better spot now, so that's over with. But so now we really need Drew to stay healthy. RJ would be a small ball for him and Sims. I would like Sims to get some of those minutes. If Randall was to get hurt, I would like to see Jericho get some 4 minutes. RJ will be the starter. I'd like to bring Jericho in behind him, and I'd like to do it that way. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So every team has risks. I think the Knicks are in just as good a shape as anybody else to go to the Eastern Conference Finals because of the way the makeup of this team is. I'm very confident in the Knicks this year. See? So, and if they were to lose a wing, like if Dante got hurt, or if, God forbid, Grimes got hurt, or if IQ got hurt, one of those guys get hurt, they won't miss a beat really because they got enough power at that. You know what I'm saying? So now if, God forbid, but if IQ got hurt, Dante DiVincenzo steps right in. Deuce comes in. We're not worried about it. You understand? Julius gets hurt. That's a bit of a problem. RJ gets hurt is not a big problem. You put Grimes in, and I think we get better. I'm just not saying, love RJ, but you put Grimes in there with IQ, Knicks are better. Okay? So that's all I'm saying. So we're good. The biggest weakness right now is power forward because of, the situation with if Julius got hurt. He's our biggest weakness. Mitchell Robinson second, I think. Aside from Brunson. You missing Brunson, you're going to have a problem. But Mitch Rob and Juju, we need those guys to be healthy this year. We really do. Okay. So I really don't follow the Jets as much. I used to follow the Jets. When I first met pro football, I was about 7 years old, and the Jets were about to win a Super Bowl against the Colts. They were about a year or two from winning the Super Bowl from the Colts. They had just drafted this young man out of Alabama named Joe Namath, and they was really good. And they were playing in the AFL, right? So I liked the Jets then, but I was always a Giants fan above the Jets fan. And I'm from Long Island. They used to practice at Hofstra. I don't know, did the Jets still practice at Hofstra? They used to do their summer camp at Hofstra University when I was living in New York when I was a kid, but I don't know if they're doing that anymore. But I was always a Fran Tarkenton, Tucker Frederickson Giants guy. And I got beat to death until Parcells came along. Parcells and Lawrence Taylor came along, and everything changed. Everything changed. Yeah. So Yeah, so that I'm liking, but as far as the Knicks, I'm very happy with what we got. I don't think there's going to be any more moves. Only thing I'm going to do now is enjoy the FIBA competition and select team competition. Hopefully, our guys don't get hurt. We don't want that. And then, whatever they're going to do with Big Mouth, we Evan Fournier, French bread, do, send him home, do something, trade him. But we need the 19 million for next year. Enjoy. I don't understand. I understand a competitor, right? Pros are competitors. They want to play. But dude, you get 19 million and you're not going to get minutes in front of Grimes. I don't know what you're thinking. It's not going to happen. And if Grimes was hurt, here come Emmanuel quickly. And no, you're not better than him either. So, no. The East, I don't really know. I like the Knicks to be top 5 again. I'm thinking they got a shot at 4, depending on how they play. The Knicks are going to win more than 50 games this year. And I'm looking at them at top 5 again. They could be top 4. Depends. I don't know who's ahead of them. It's like I said last year. Y'all remember last year what I said? I said somebody losing their spot because the Knicks are going to be top 6. Remember that last year? I said somebody losing their spot because the Knicks are going to be top 6. People was talking about playing and all this. Y'all remember that? And I said somebody losing their spot because the Knicks are going to be top 6. And look what happened. Who lost their spot? Was it Miami? Somebody lost their spot because they had all these teams ranked ahead of the Knicks. And I said, Knicks going to be, okay, fine. Rank whoever you want, but the Knicks going to be top 6. And somebody losing their spot. And I said 45 or plus wins. And somebody losing their spot. Well, this year, the Knicks are going to be top 5, and they're going to win at least 50 games this year. I'm trying to be conservative. I don't say 55, 57. Unless they got a superstar or something, then that'd be different. But I'm thinking with the continuity, with what they got, I'm liking them for 50-plus wins. I'm liking them for top 5 in the East this year. Next season in the playoffs, that's a hard, deep. It's impossible to know. And I'll tell you why. Injuries, right? We don't know, but let's assume everybody's going to be healthy. We don't know what players are going to take steps forward. Like we'd like to see all of our guys, especially our young guys. You like to see everybody take a step forward. You got 23-year-old RJ Barrett. You got 23-year-old Quentin Grimes. You got 24-year-old IQ. You like to see everybody take a step forward. You got Dante DiVincenzo now. So, and you got a whole season plus training camp of Josh Hart. So you want to see everybody take a step forward. So it's hard to say what they would do in the playoffs. A lot also, as we all are aware, depends on Julius Randle. If Julius Randle was just a fluke that he messed up these last 2 playoffs and he shows up next year, the Knicks are going to be really tough. If Julius Randle doesn't show up, the Knicks can still be tough, but they won't be as tough. Just like this year. Julius Randle didn't show up against Cleveland, and he didn't show up against Miami. I think can we agree with that? Even Gumby, you can't say your boy showed up in the playoffs this year because he didn't. Okay, he did not. You could say, well, he was hurt or whatever. I don't care what it is. He wasn't there. Okay, he didn't show up. Right? He just didn't show up. Thanks for the $5. Keith Watkins. Not sure of the logistics, but are you ever planning to live calls? You're getting a nice file. I got a lot of things on my plate, and I've thought about calls. Honestly, I have, but I've got a lot of things on my plate, and I'm trying to juggle them. Yesterday, like for example, I did 2 Bible studies. I did a baptism yesterday. It's a lot. And then I got my job. I'm going backgrounded on my job now, my new job. And so there's a lot going on. And that's why, I thought about doing phones, but I haven't really had the time. I also thought about merchandise. Somebody drew me a very nice emblem. I forgot who it was. Brother, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, but a brother drew me a tight emblem. And I said, well, how much you want? He said, no, this is just a gift. It was a beautiful thing. And my wife's like, when are you going to use it? I was like, I don't know when. Shoot. Oh, man. Yeah. No, I'm not retired yet. I can't afford to retire yet. No, I can't. Man. So we'll see. I got things I got to do. I don't know. We'll see what happens. My wife is telling me now, like some of you need to just put more effort on the Knicks thing and do this more full time and retire. She said, I told her I need to make double what I'm making right now in order to be able to do that. I'm eligible for Social Security, but I don't want to take it yet. Yeah, I was thinking about hats, T-shirts, mugs, with the emblem on it, sweat tops, stuff like that. So this brother put together a really nice emblem, though. If I break it out, y'all say it was nice, but I got to talk to him. I separate sports from the Bible purposely. I bring up players sometimes as object lessons, but I don't mix the Bible with the Knicks. Too many people take sports too seriously, and I don't want to do that. That's why in the beginning of my videos, y'all will notice I tell y'all what's going on in the real world, that there's people out here risking their lives to save people's lives every day. And it's more important than basketball. That there's kids being snatched and raped every day. That's more important than basketball. So that's why I bring that out. But in terms of doing the Bible study, there's too many important things happening in the world to bring up sports. So that's why I don't do it. And I like it that way. Cherokee Indian, the shirt going to say stay off. No, the shirt's going to say, I'm going to have a couple of shirts. One's going to say, this is the league. One's going to say, this is the league. Y'all know that. It's not college, not high school. It's going to say in big letters, it's the league. That's going to be one of them. You know that. Then there's going to be one that says, please, stay off crack. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's going to be stuff like that. Yep. Hey, Akawan Banya. What's up, my brother? No, I haven't seen Sound of Freedom. I've heard about it, Rich, and I haven't seen it. Yet. I heard what it was about, like trafficking, I think, but I haven't seen it. Yeah. No problem, Craig Walker. So, what was I saying? So, anyway, just as a recap, Grimes playing the select team. I think he's going to do very well. It's going to be very good for him. Just don't get hurt. RJ playing with Team Canada is going to do very well. He's going to play about 9 to 12 minutes a game this year at the 4. That's not going to kill us. We'll be okay. RJ will be better, I think. Fournier can sit on his behind and get his $19 million. He should even be away from the team. He's going to run his mouth. They could buy him out if they make a number, but we're not going to lose that $19 million because he's whining. You got no cheese for him. So we're going to get this $19 million, help our team out next year. And the power forward spot as I mentioned, between RJ and Hart is not going to kill us. To have Hart played 6 to 10 minutes a game at the 4, or RJ to play 9 to 12 minutes at the 4. Not going to kill us. We'll be all right. Keith Watkins, the Don playing three-dimensional chess always is. And you can see it. Like, look at your team. You got a bunch of guys you drafted. So, yeah, we traded Obi. Okay. Right? We traded Kevin Knox. Okay. But look what we got. We drafted Quentin Grimes. He's starting at the 2. We drafted RJ Barrett. He's starting at the 3. We drafted Mitchell Robinson. He's starting at the 5. We drafted IQ. He's the first guy off the bench. These are guys we drafted. And we still got Deuce McBride we're trying to find minutes for. Man. Yeah. So I don't know what people whining about. And Tibbs not playing youngins. We got 5 youngins in the rotation. Okay. So we doing good, man. And we got 1 in Deuce. We got to figure out how to get Deuce minutes. And I showed y'all the stats. The more Deuce plays, the more the Knicks win. Get this, brother, at least 18 minutes a game somehow. I don't know how, but let's get him. That's why I was against the Dante move. I like Dante DiVincenzo, but I want to make sure Deuce gets some minutes, man. Get that old Villanova boy. I want Deuce to get some minutes, because the more minutes Deuce gets, the better we do. Yes, right. You're right. Lose Lux. Thanks for the $2. That's right. If I paid you 19 minutes and said you won't play a minute for the Knicks this year, but I'm gonna pay you to put the uniform on and sit on the bench, would you do that? If I said, listen, I'm gonna give you $19 million, okay? But all I need you to do is put the uniform on, practice hard now, stay on the bench. And then next year you can go any place you want, make whatever you want. Shoot, man. No hard liquor, that's right. So yeah, I don't know, whatever, man. It's like, yeah, I ain't got no cheese for that homie's wine, man. And I liked Evan Fournier as far as a New Yorker type dude. Do y'all ever listen to him talk? He's real. I like Evan Fournier, but well, the stats say Lucas asked about Deuce. Let me pull it out here. I got it in here. Okay, so when Deuce plays 18 or more minutes, so this past season there were 10 games when Deuce played 18 minutes or more. Okay, the Knicks record in that 10 games where Deuce played 18 minutes or more was 8-2. That when Deuce plays 18 minutes or more, the Knicks were 8-2. I'd say play him some more, right? When Deuce shoots 40% from three or better, he shoots 40% from three or better, which he did 17 times this past season. The Knicks are 11-6. Okay, 11-6. When Deuce scores double figures, which he did 5 times last year, the Knicks are 4-1. Okay, so when Deuce appears in a game, just appears, doesn't start, just comes in the game. He did that 64 games last year. The Knicks are 36-28. Okay, so just statistically speaking, you want to play this kid more minutes just to see what you can get. Because if you're 8-2 when he plays 18 minutes or more, you should play him 18 minutes or more. You want to win? That's all I'm saying. And I'm also saying that's why I was against the Dante move. My problem was I wanted Deuce to play because of these stats. And this is before I actually compiled these stats. I just knew this from the eye test. And not only that, Deuce McBride, in my opinion, aside from Quentin Grimes, is the best perimeter defender on the roster. See, it's Grimes and Deuce, then IQ. Best perimeter defenders you got on the roster, those 3 guys. Okay, so yeah. Somebody said it well. Which one of y'all said it? I don't know if it was Abraham. Somebody said Deuce McBride is Thibodeau basketball. And that's an absolute fact. Deuce McBride is Tibbs ball. That's it. Okay. None of the 10 games were blowouts, Keith Watkins. Look them up. These were games that we needed to win. We were 8-2. Okay, 8-2. There were no blowouts. No, he just plays good. The Knicks play good. When Deuce plays good, the Knicks play good. Because you think, look at this now. If I'm saying 18 minutes a game, right? Let me ask you a question, y'all. Deuce McBride, if he's on the floor, what do you know you're going to get? I mean, what do you absolutely, bottom line, know you're going to get with Deuce McBride on the floor? What are you going to get? You know for absolute fact you're going to get end-to-end defense from this kid. You know this, right? You know you're going to get end-to-end defense and hustle from Deuce McBride if he's on the floor. Now, that's a given. If you add him shooting to that, and like I said, he shot greater than 40% from three 17 times last year. 17. They're 11-6. See? You got to find minutes for this guy. I'm not worried about Frenchie at all. But Deuce, yeah, I'd like to get some more minutes for him if I can. Okay? Yeah, I'd like to get some more minutes for him if I can. So that's what I'm talking about. And again, my perspective is not that I got Deuce McBride's poster on my wall. The Knicks win is what I'm looking at. How do the Knicks win? How do the Knicks win more basketball games? Well, let me tell you. Play Deuce McBride 18 minutes or more. You'll win more games. Well, let me tell you this. I'm not going to blame. See, again, why won't Tibbs play him? Why? Okay, Ace of Spades, let's answer the question. Why won't Tibbs play him? Well, we got to start in 5. Deuce is a point guard. You got Jalen Brunson playing the point guard. Behind Jalen Brunson, you have Emmanuel Quickly. That's why Deuce can't get minutes. It's not hard to figure out. And there's nothing wrong with Tibbs. That's why. There's a pecking order. Okay? That's why. And now you got Dante DiVincenzo. So Dante is going to me, he's a wing. So he'll be a 2-3. You could put him in the lineup when you're playing Grimes at the 3, but I can't see why they would do that either because you got IQ, So I don't know. It's tough. It's just tough. It's a tough lineup to break into. What can I say? But I'm gonna tell you what. There's a team out there that will take Deuce McBride and play him 18 minutes a game, and he will do a tremendous job when they do. Yeah, I have to go with you, Rios, on that. Rios said the Knicks and French players don't work. You're right. Which French player has been successful for the Knicks? Well, you could say Evan Fournier. He broke the record for 3-pointers, didn't he? I mean, we were losing a lot of those games. As we pointed out, whenever Evan Fournier shoots more than 40% from 3, the Knicks are only 500. And Evan Fournier scored more than 20 points, the Knicks are 7-10. When Evan Fournier starts, the Knicks are 36-44. So it's not like he's really that impactful to winning. Okay, he's not. Yes, Abraham, he absolutely is. He has his Deuce Marcus Smart. If he started, yes, he is. In my opinion, I thought that when he was coming out of West Virginia, I was saying that from the beginning. This guy's Marcus Smart. Okay, that's exactly what he is. That's right. So I don't know how, but that's what you want. You want to find some minutes for Deuce. If I could, I would do that. I don't know how though. I'm not even sure how they're gonna. I don't know how the minutes are gonna work between Hart and Dante. Really, I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna do that. Because you got Grimes and RJ. RJ will get 4 minutes. Then when he moves to the 4, Grimes probably moves to the 3. But then you still got IQ. So I guess IQ comes in for Brunson. I don't know. No, I agree with you, Keith Watkins. I agree 100%. Most people don't see it. I'm glad you did. I see it too. Yes, I agree 100% with you, Keith Watkins. 100%. But he's got to get an opportunity, which he hasn't gotten yet. So, and he won't get it really if it goes like that. So we'll see. But I don't know. I know Tibbs likes him. Tibbs asked for him to draft him. So Tibbs likes Deuce. Tibbs and Huggins, that was Deuce's coach at West Virginia, know each other. They're very much the same style coach. And so Tibbs really wanted Deuce McBride, as I did, and they got him. So he still really likes Deuce, but it's hard. What are you going to do? You got Brunson and you got IQ. What are you going to do? Now you got Dante DiVincenzo. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. But we're going to regret losing Obi also, but you got to do what you got to do. Obi's a starter. He needed to get a team where he could start. Tibbs really has one grandson. That's IQ. He treats Brunson like he's his son. Rick Brunson is the father, but Tibbs is also like a dad. So but IQ is the real grandson. He even said that. You remember last year, IQ went off, I think it was against Boston, and they said, "What do you think about IQ?" He said, IQ is my guy. Here's what he said. He said, IQ is my guy. Crick is my guy. That's what he said. So IQ is still the grandson, man. He's still the grandson. Yeah, he said, Crick is my guy. Yeah. So the Quick is still his boy, and I can't blame him. Quick is good, man. I'm not going to whine about Quick playing in front of Deuce. I'd like Deuce to get more minutes, but what am I going to do? Yeah. So anyway, here's what it is, man. But the Knicks are stacked. That's a good position to be in. The Knicks are stacked. Somebody gets hurt, we good. Okay. The only time we might have a problem is if Juju got hurt. Juju gets hurt, we might have a problem. Maybe. And that's even a maybe. That's a maybe. That's not even a definite. That's a maybe. But everybody else in pretty good shape. I don't want to lose Mitchell Robinson. Hartenstein is a really good hustler. Love him. Jericho Sims too, but they're not Mitchell Robinson. As we saw last year, when Mitchell Rob went down, the Knicks had problems. Okay. They're both of their streaks, the 9-game and the 8-game, were both Mitchell Robinson. He was in there. Okay. No, the Knicks are not going to add anybody else. The Knicks, if they do, it's because of a Fournier trade. It'll be somebody to a minimum deal that ain't going to play. So, yeah. So, anyway, we're good, man. The Knicks are good. We're going to go to war with the same main 10 guys we got. And like I said, the Knicks will be top 5 in the East, and they will win 50 games at least. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We'll go to war what we got, and the Knicks will be really good. The Knicks they're gonna have some games that are gonna be tough, no doubt, but they're gonna be games where everybody in New York is gonna go crazy, and you're gonna be really excited when you see these guys roll. They're gonna be good, man. I'm very excited, especially if nobody gets hurt. If we can keep Brunson healthy, man, we'll be in good shape. Grimes is another dude that's Tibbs' guy. You right, Andrew, but IQ was first. IQ was his boy. Like I said, he said, I was watching IQ from when he was a sophomore at Kentucky. So what, he loves IQ. That's his boy. Yeah, I would play if Rodney Hill has, would I play Mitch at the 5 and Sims at the 4 for a few minutes? It's not 48 minutes. I would not going to do that, but I would do it for a few minutes if Randall was hurt or out of the game. I would do it for a few minutes. I would start RJ at the 4, but I would love to get Sims that 10 to 12, 15 minutes at the 4 if I could, if I didn't have Randall. That's what I'm saying. And in that situation in particular, if Randall is out, RJ starts at the 4. I would love to bring Sims in as a backup at that point. I'm not going to start Sims and play him 32 minutes at the 4, right? But I would definitely have him in for some backup minutes at the 4. I would like to do that. Yeah. So Zay the Mayor 225. Are you really seriously considering Derrick Rose at 34 years old? Somebody's Tibbs should have played because he was his boy over IQ, Deuce, and Brunson. Maybe you're messing with that Mad Dog 2020. Seriously, maybe you're messing with that Mad Dog. Leave that Mad Dog alone, man. It not only makes your lips pink when you drink too much of it, but it messes your liver up and it causes you to say some really crazy things. If you're having problems with alcohol, you should really go to the AA. They will help you. 12 steps, man. I've seen it. Help my cousin. It'll help you too. You really bringing up D-Rose like he should have got minutes? Are you serious? I'm not sure. D-Rose might have some game left, but I'm not going to lose minutes for Emmanuel Quickly or Grimes or Deuce because I want to play Derrick Rose at age 34. I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. I know you got the MVP poster on your wall, but bro, we passed that. This is 2023. Come catch up. Don't be like mustard. Catch up. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Shoot. No, they can't. Where they go? Who's gonna lose minutes so D Rose can get minutes? Please tell me who is going to lose minutes out of Emmanuel Quickly, Jalen Brunson, and Deuce McBride so we can get Derrick Rose minutes. Who's going to lose minutes? Oh, you're crazy. Stop it. We too stacked for Derrick Rose right now. We too stacked for Derrick Rose. We don't need Derrick Rose. Nice. Thank you for your help. I hope he goes. Where is he going? Memphis? Good. I hope he plays a lot of minutes for Memphis. But we don't need him here. We stacked. We stacked right now. Yeah, I mean, what you talking about, Derrick Rose? What the hell? Too much fantasy basketball out here, man. Shoot. Let's get real. Damn. Well, like I said, I hope D Rose got game left. He sat most of last year, so hopefully he worked out this summer. He's going to. He could go to Memphis and play some minutes and make an impact. I hope he does. But he can't do that on the Knicks because we too stacked. We don't need him. I'm not causing any of these guys to lose minutes so we can put Derrick Rose on there. This ain't Chicago Bulls MVP Derrick Rose, man. Come on. Now, the only guy Tibbs overplayed was Josh Hart. That's the only guy. He played Josh Hart way too many minutes, especially in the playoffs. Too many minutes. He played Josh. I hope he makes an adjustment, which I think he will. Please don't play Josh Hart no 35 minutes. Josh Hart don't need no more than 20 minutes. The max 30. Don't play him more than that. You're going to get diminishing return. Don't do it. Yeah, I hear that. But now we're going to training camp. We're going fresh. He don't need all of them minutes. You got Dante DiVincenzo. I would have played RQ more minutes if I could. So RQ's a better ball player. But yeah, but we'll see. When you get to the playoffs, you don't experiment, y'all. This ain't high school, man. Go get Johnny off the bench that we never played. Maybe he can save the game, like Robbie Benson and something like that. This is the league. So when you play a certain lineup the whole year, you're not going to suddenly change it because you want to give somebody a shot because your regular guy is not getting it done. They don't do that in the league, man. So, no, Deuce was not going to get no more minutes. If he hadn't gotten it in the 82 games, he wasn't going to get it in the playoffs. It's how it is, okay? You want to see guys that are playing during the year play in the playoffs. Not that much. You're not going to, if you gave Deuce 10 minutes a game, and you're not going to give him 20 all of a sudden, unless you get people hurt. That's the only reason you do that. Other than that, you don't do that. You make adjustments. Adjustments doesn't mean you play a guy 100 minutes that you never played that much before. That's not the adjustment you make. The adjustments means you switch guys. You might play a guy at the 4 that was playing the 3, like RJ, or you might, play, you might switch and start, I don't know, you might start Grimes at the 3 and play RJ the 4, or whatever. You might make adjustments like that, but it's your same 9-man, 10-guy rotation. You don't change that in the playoffs. Yeah, you can make adjustments, but not like that. You're not going to suddenly give a guy that's the 10th guy a whole bunch of minutes. As much as I love Deuce, that doesn't make any sense. That's not how the league works. They don't do it that way. Yeah, they're all working hard, man. One thing about the Knicks, you got a bunch of gym rats on this team. That's a Tom Thibodeau staple. You gonna have gym rats, all of them. Deuce, Jericho, IQ, all them cats are in the gym all the time, and they're going to get better. All of them do. Okay. So, yeah. So, anyway, Nathan Knight, the Knicks next star. Okay. Public service announcement. Alcohol is dangerous. Malt liquor is not like regular beer. You might want to try that apple cider, that the wild apple cider. It's got less alcohol. Don't drink the old English, because if you do that, you start saying really crazy things like Nathan Knight, the next Knicks star. Look, if things go to where I want the Knicks to go this year, like I said, 50 games, no injuries, Nathan Knight will not see the floor. Especially if Randall never gets hurt, Nathan Knight will not see the floor. He'll see the G League floor, and he might get garbage time if we're blowing somebody out. But other than that, please don't. No. No, are you the same guy that was saying Luca Vildoza is going to be in the rotation when they signed him? Y'all remember Luca Vildoza? Oh, did you see his stats? Did you see the highlights? Oh, you're wrong. He's going to be in the rotation. Where is he? Y'all, some of y'all don't even remember his name. Huh? Yeah, I hear. But to even put a, you know what, really, Ray Gomez, you should have put a question mark with a clown sign at the end of it. Then we'd have known you was joking, right? Or, a laugh sign. Then we know you was joking, right? You understand? The question mark is like you asking, is that possible? And I will say again, please, the malt liquor is stronger than your regular beer. See, so if you had like Heineken, right? That is not as powerful as Old English or Schlitz malt liquor. That'll get you all messed up, man. So stay away from those things, man. Listen, stay away from those things. That's all I'm saying. They're going to really play Andrew at the pace they've been playing, and the Knicks are probably going to want to pick up the pace from last year, but don't expect miracles. Don't expect miracles. But Dante is going to help with that a lot. Dante's going to help with that a lot. But Brunson, by his nature, is really a half-court player. I mean, he really is. He's a half-court guy. So that's going to slow. And Randall's a half-court guy. Neither of them are real guys that like to run. Everybody else on the Knicks likes to run. But the two guys that are going to have the ball a lot don't. So that's going to hurt you a little bit. So your second unit, as it always is for the Knicks, is going to be the team that runs a lot. That's why I like RJ at the 4 in the second unit. Small ball, they'll run that. So, but you're really talking about 15 minutes a game, 20 maybe. But the first unit with Brunson and Randall, that's a half-court unit, and they'll probably do that again. So that's what I'm thinking. But, it works. Listen, they're going to do good. They're going to do good this year. Oh, yeah. We should. Winston say, we should replace Andrew, buy him off. Where we replace. You having fun today with that. You having fun today, Winston, with that Wild Hours Rose, huh? How you mix it, man? You just drink it out the pint bottle? Shoot. Winston, you crazy. Oh, God. Yeah, I can see some. To me, there is Jericho. Anything is possible with Jericho Sims. And exactly, you do. Anything is possible with Jericho Sims. I don't know, right? I really think he could play backup 4, and I'd like to give him the opportunity to do it if I could. Yeah, I'd like to do it. I'd like to give him the opportunity if I could. You're crazy. Oh, man. Oh, I'm smelling my wife's dinner. Okay. I'm going to see my daddy today, and I'm going to eat dinner with my wife in a few minutes. It's been real, y'all. It's been nice. Yeah, I got to look up my brother that showed me that thing, and we're going to talk about some merch, man. That's my next move. Some of y'all asked about the phones. Maybe eventually, right? But my next move is I got to get some merch or something, some shirts and something and stuff, with that. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, yeah, that vodka that looks like soda, right? At 4th of July, my kids brought some of that stuff. The lemonade vodka, and there was another one. I forgot what it was, but they like an orange one or something. They brought that too. Yeah. But you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Please be safe out there. Thank you very much for hanging out here today. You guys make this fun. Some of y'all make it real fun. Oh, it's Crown Royal. That's right, Keith Walker. It's Crown Royal. That's exactly what I think I had half of it. I wasn't into it. I'm not into sodas, to be honest with you. Yeah. But the kids liked it, so whatever. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day. Shalom.